What's up, everybody? Welcome back to GameOnia live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. with myself, Bill Tendo. We got the Retro Lizard Joel because that's how he looks, kind of lizardish. And tonight we have Retro Wolf 88 Matt with us hanging out. So this is going to be awesome.
Hey, Bill,
how you guys doing tonight?
Bill, I just wanted to say thanks for being here on time today. The last 2 weeks, Bill had to take a shit right at 9 o'clock.
No. The week before last, I was in the bathroom. Last week was when I got the call that my mother, Mickey Tendo, was in the hospital.
That's right, Mickey Tendo. How's Mickey Tendo doing?
Mickey Tendo was released from the hospital just the other day. She's at home resting, but she's doing good. She's doing good.
That's great news, man.
Nice.
Great news.
Dude,
tell who this guy is.
So why don't we let Matt tell us about himself?
There you go. Go for it, man.
Well, before I do that, I want to say to you, Bill, congratulations on hitting 1,000 subscribers, man. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Congrats. And let me tell you, I don't know if you know this or not, but I actually got it pulled up on my phone right now. This is why hitting 1,000 subscribers is a big deal. It's a huge achievement on YouTube. If you look at the statistics, only 8.86% of all channels on YouTube make it to 1,000 subscribers. And we're talking about, millions and millions and millions and millions of channels. So that is something to be proud of, man. So congrats on that.
I'm in the 8%. Wow.
Yes, sir.
You're
What's up, Brandy, the gamer aimer herself?
I got to shout out
the show.
Got to shout out my brother Chris, Barnsong Electric. He is one of my best friends. He's basically a brother. He's been in a lot of the videos. He helps me film a lot. Me and him are working on a music project together that I don't want to talk about too much. But no, yeah, I'm Matt, Retro Wolf 88 on YouTube. Do a lot of hunting videos, game room tours, game store tours, going for a complete GameCube collection. That's kind of my shtick right now.
What number are you up to?
I have 491 games of 551, so I've got 90 left exactly. 461. I'm at 461, so I have 90 left. Yeah.
So how do you collect when you're going for a total collection like that? Do you start off doing randoms, or do you start going alphabetical order?
Yeah, dude, randoms, whatever I find. Hey, Marcello, GameCube Galaxy. I'm actually going to hang out with him this weekend in Florida. But yeah, no, just when I find them, at conventions, game stores, thrift stores, flea markets, you name it. I try not to buy them on eBay. As a matter of fact, of the 461 games that I have, I've only bought 2 on eBay. And the rest I found out in the wild.
Wow.
Complete,
that's
too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I understand that because in my entire collection, there is literally one game that came from eBay or Mercari, and that was because I was absolutely convinced for 5 years that I was going to run into it in the wild at a garage sale, and I didn't. And after like 5 years, my wife decided she was going to buy it for me for Valentine's Day like 2 years ago. And around then, prices were sky high, and she bought it, and that's how I got Chibi Robo. But I was laser focused that one day I was just going to run into Chibi Robo in the wild.
Oh, man.
I mean, I ran into Stunt Racers, Super Bowling. I ran into Cubivore. Never a Chibi Robo.
Never a Chibi Robo. Dude, have you ever played that game? It's awesome. It is an awesome game.
I very much enjoy it. And I tell people, you got to understand that, first of all, you're getting into a kind of weirdo Japanese game.
Very weird, yeah.
Because the Japanese have some cultural games that we don't have. And also, this is a relaxation game. You're going about menial tasks. I love scrubbing the carpets with the toothbrush, man.
You know what's crazy about it, though? There's some dark themes in that game, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Bad marriage, like ignoring your kid. Like there's the dad in that game is kind of a piece of shit.
Whoa, guys, I have to point out that I have an alert set on Facebook. Mickey Tendo is actually watching right now. She's in the chat. So
Mickey Tendo,
hey, Mom.
Mickey
Tendo's a saint.
Nice.
You guys are gonna hate me because I am an eBay buying whore.
No, dude. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man.
Well, the problem is that in Buffalo, there's no place to hunt. Like there's yard sales, but we don't have like video game yard sales around here like that.
Yeah.
I've gone to a few, like the neighborhood ones, and you don't really find anything but like Xbox 360 games. Nothing fun. You know, and we got like 2 game stores in Buffalo, and there's nothing in Buffalo. So I'm an eBay whore. And Instagram. But I support everybody on Instagram that sells on Instagram too. I love doing the sales. I love doing the raffles on there.
That's awesome. I have no issue with that, except for the fact that I am super cheap, dude. Like I would break a nickel in half if I could, you know. Around here, I'm the boogeyman in my area because I'm gonna get it all. And I have a stupid nickname with my friends, and it's Necesito Bandito. I'm the necessary bandit. I'm getting in there. They'll send me messages of like a screenshot of something that was posted on Facebook Marketplace for like 8 minutes and sold, and they'd be like, "Did you already pick it up?" And I'm like, "That one wasn't me, but I'm the boogeyman."
Nice. Yeah, dude. These days, I get most of my shit from game conventions, man. Because I go to so many of them. Yeah, I get a lot from game conventions.
Do you travel around the country to go to the game convention?
Well, not really around the country. I mean, if there's a convention within like half a day drive, that's kind of where I stick. Any further than
Where
that,
are you located?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee.
Yep.
Okay.
Tennessee. Yep. Yeah, man. One thing that sucks about a channel like mine, where my videos are hunting episodes, right? You have to make the content fun for people and interesting people, I have to buy stuff on camera, right?
Right.
So it's expensive. The channel, I make a little bit of money on the channel, but I spend way more than I make. So the channel is not profitable at all.
What was the most expensive game you purchased at a convention?
The most expensive game that I purchased at a convention. Let me think about that. Are we talking?
Doesn't matter what game. Just the most expensive game the one that you can think of in your head that you probably paid the most for at a convention.
I'd say probably. I don't remember the game, but probably $120.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. No, that's not bad at all.
It's going to go up this year, though.
I almost spent $600 on a Virtual Boy Blockbuster case at a convention, and I got it on eBay 2 days later for $200.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Maybe there is something to eBay then, huh?
Yeah, right?
Yep. Enjoy. Exactly. If I'm enjoying myself, that's all that matters. And I am enjoying myself. I have a blast going to conventions. It's literally one of my favorite things to do. And vending, love vending at conventions, man. It's so much fun. Just like, because so oftentimes when I vend at conventions, my wife is vending with me. And our thing is we try to have the cheapest prices at the convention. We try to have the best deals. And it ends up working out for us really well. We always do very good at conventions because our prices are so much lower than everybody else.
Nice.
Right. And people also automatically do convention pricing. And that, so if you're looking at a $20 price chart game, that game's going to be $30 to $35 at a convention.
I can't do it, dude.
It's convention price. Me personally, the reason I sell so much stuff when I do claim sales and stuff like that is because for me, the way I see it, since price charting is not only all of these different selling sites combined, but if you look on price charting's main page, it'll tell you it's the lower end average. I use price charting to sell games, and I like to keep mine rounded to the 5. So if it's a $9 game, it's going for 10. But if it's an $8 game, it's going for 5. And so I find that if I go with price charting and not eBay, I sell way more stuff, and I would rather sell more games cheaper than less games more expensively, because then if that's better for me because I sold more, it's better for my customer because they paid less. And guess what? Next time they're looking for a game, they're going to hit me up. Hey, Bill, do you have this game? Because they know I'm going to give them a decent price on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. If you see me looking around, it's because my stupid corgi keeps coming in and out, in and out. He's annoying.
Retro, when's the next
Sometimes
convention
my
you're going
cat
to?
comes in.
Yeah. Next convention I'm going to is Game Jam South in Huntsville, Alabama on May 3rd and 4th. Or no, May 4th and 5th. And I'll be vending.
You
I'll
must
be there both days.
if you go to conventions within a half a day or so of you must be near the Memphis area.
Oh yeah. I'm like 4 hours from Memphis, yeah.
I got you because you said Huntsville. I'm from the New Orleans area. I've also lived on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I'm like, okay, so that kind of gave me a frame of reference for where you were in Tennessee.
Yeah, dude, I'm near Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm like right near North Georgia, Chattanooga, Tennessee area.
Yeah, you're probably about 6 hours from Atlanta?
2.
You're 2 hours from Atlanta. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Very nice. So, Bill, you want to talk about your videos you made this week?
I'm
going right for the throat.
You made quite the splash this week, man.
It actually wasn't intentional, you know. So for the people that's listening, we're talking about my I guess you would call it the Game Junction expose. The expose on Brandon and the Game Junction, which are one and the same. I think I actually called the last one the final word on the Game Junction saga.
Now, the last video you posted, was that the last one, or is there going to be another video?
So for me, that was a complete story of the situation up until now to demonstrate a full timeline of events minus the foundation and whatnot era of Game Junction, which I left out to protect the person that was involved in that because he doesn't want negative association of his current projects on with Game Junction. So for me, that's a complete story up until now. However, that being said, if anybody else wants to tell their story, I will definitely platform them to do so because I found in doing the interviews that I did, whether it was the original interviews I did with people or the ones that people saw, after we finished recording, almost everyone thanked me. And I realized, even though it made me feel gross to be digging into such a negative situation, and I hated the way it made me feel, I realized that it was actually positive what I was doing because A, it raises awareness, and B, when you tell your story to somebody, when you have this anger, this resentment, this stuff built up inside, when you tell your story to somebody, you get some kind of release. You get some kind of closure on your story. And so if anybody else needs to do that, I will be happy to be there for them to do that.
I think you handled it really well, man. I think you handled it very professionally, you know, because you could have easily got it on there and been like, fuck this guy. And you know what I mean? But
yeah, right.
And very civil. And yeah, you were civil. Now I do like how N Squared handled it on their end too, but those guys are just like they're coming at it from a different perspective, right?
Absolutely.
But no, dude, if you want, I can give you my perspective on the whole situation.
I would love to hear your perspective because you've had interactions with Game Junction, right?
Few interactions, yeah, with Brandon, yeah.
So Retro, before you go into it, I'm on the outside, kind of looking in here to this whole story. I don't really knew what was going on.
Joel's in the arcade.
Weird that the arcade community and the retro gaming community are two separate worlds. You know, I'm in the retro gaming community as like a collector, but I'm not like into it. So on the outside looking in and watching these videos, basically from the perspective that I was figuring out was that Game Junction is trying to treat, so Brandon from Game Junction is trying to treat Game Junction as a business and like a business, but it doesn't have any revenue coming in. And what revenue was coming in, it wasn't being shared with the other people that were contributing towards the channel, or that he was kind of treating almost as an employee to get content done for him. And then, but they were contributing out of their pockets, but not seeing any return on it. And then, some people said that they got yelled at, things like that. He was acting like a crazy boss in certain ways, I guess. But the biggest perspective is that he was trying to treat it like a business, but it wasn't working out that way at all. And it still seems like he tries to treat it like a business too, from what I've been gathering.
Yeah.
Is that kind of spot on? Did you guys get that too? Am I right? Am I following that?
Yeah, and look, just to be clear, there's nothing wrong with treating your channel like a business. I treat my channel like a business, but you still have to be a good fucking person. That's critical.
And, like we as a group are literally a community. You can't exploit your community. Joel and I make our entire livings selling stuff to our communities. So we absolutely have nothing with us where we think there's anything wrong with monetizing your gaming community. Yeah. But Joel and I do everything we can. We give so much stuff away for free. We're always involved in community activities. I'm doing a 10-hour charity stream for a community member's son who has cancer starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. But when you are in your community and you only take from the community and you don't contribute to the community, then that's a problem. When you only take underhandedly, if you're taking somebody else's work and claiming it as your own, and then, hey, well, I put content out into the community. Well, you didn't even make that content. You didn't edit that content. Somebody else did that you didn't pay.
In the arcade community, that's when you take somebody else's build that you might have sold it to or gave it to, and then they claim it as their own and start selling it as their own, and then they don't give you any credit for it. So that's a very similar situation in the arcade community, and things like that happen in the arcade community all the time. I've had people take my build and use it as a base and add things into it and then slap their name on it and say, hey, I made this. And then people recognize it's my work. And it's like, then they get called out for it. The arcade community will call you right the fuck out, and then you'll just, you'll die off and you'll be faded into the wind after a while. So Retro, though, tell your story, man. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, man. So let me just start with my initial interactions with Brandon from Game Junction. And before I say that, let me give a little disclaimer.
Sure.
I don't usually get involved in topics like this. I don't usually get involved in what could be considered drama, although this to me is a different situation.
Right.
To me, this is a different situation because this is a situation where the community needs to be aware.
And for the record, though, we didn't bring you on here to do this either.
No, we didn't. I volunteered. I've actually volunteered to tell my perspective. So, I just want to get that out of the way, right? But this is a different situation, and two, he treated a very good friend of mine very poorly, and that is Brandy Gamer Aimer, who is one of the fucking nicest people in the entire community.
Oh shit!
And it literally, I am pissed at how he treated her. Pissed. But anyways, so let me start by telling you my initial interactions with Brandon. And I have good intuition about people. I always have, and I always go with my intuition about people. And I'm usually never wrong about my intuition. And from the beginning, I got bad vibes from him from the very start, as did some of my friends. I won't name names, but some of my friends also had bad vibes. But the initial interaction that kind of put me off a little bit was he messages me on Instagram about being on the podcast. And if you're approaching somebody about having them on your podcast, there's a right way to do it, right? You message them and you ask nicely, hey, you interested in coming on my show? I'd love to have you on as a guest, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do that. He messages me and he's like, I don't remember exactly how, this is not verbatim, but it was something along the lines of, hey man, we'll get you on the podcast on this date or this date or this date. It wasn't a question. And that it wasn't a question. It was a statement. It was like hey, we'll get you on the podcast on these dates. And that's how he opened
message.
Yeah. Opening message. And that immediately rubbed me the wrong way. And he also did the same thing to GameCube Galaxy in the chat there, did the same thing to him. And that was the first thing.
I'm not going to name the person, but I had a conversation with somebody tonight who I spoke to you guys before we went on, but I don't want to name them, but
yeah,
very similar. And like I saw messages, and it was, hey, you're gonna be on the podcast.
Exactly.
Let me know when you're available, and
exactly.
and let me know when you would like me to come on yours. And like what, like who the fuck are you?
Yeah,
and,
right.
And here's the thing: if he had approached me the right way, I would have been all for it. Dude, I love going on people's shows. I don't care how many subscribers a channel have. I've been on some channels with less than 100 subscribers. That doesn't mean anything to me. I love supporting people. I love coming on people's show if they approach me in the right way. And he did not approach me in the right way, and that was the first thing that rubbed me the wrong way. On top of that, he just had this very entitled attitude all the time, like he's owed support in the community, like the community should be supporting him at all times, and if you're not supporting him, you're not part of the community. You don't truly love the community. Just like all this kind of weird stuff and a lot of woe is me Facebook posts. But then went to it was actually Game Jam South last year. He was there. And he was there in person. I was there in person. And this dude messages me on Instagram while I'm there and is basically asking me if I want to come film with him a bunch. And the way he phrased it and the way he sent the message, it just came across very inauthentic. Like he didn't want to. It was like
he could have walked over to you.
No, yeah, exactly. But it was the message was like, I don't want to hang out with you and film to get to know you and try to be friends. I want to hang out. It came across as I want to take advantage of your audience and I want to get a boost off of you. I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to get to know you.
That's one of the reasons I turned down being on his podcast, because at the time we were friendly. I would say we were friends when he first started his podcast. This is before I realized anything, because I trust everyone unless I have a reason not to.
Right. Yeah.
But I had this sense like, okay, I have these numbers on Instagram. I have these numbers on Facebook. And I feel like he's more interested in that than me.
And that seems to be the trend of everybody who kind of came forward, is that he was trying to interact with people that had numbers. And only was interacting people with head numbers or that had numbers, and that was it. He didn't care about anybody else.
Yeah. And you know, it's all right to interact with people that have numbers, but not in that way, right? You can try to get to know people organically and naturally, and try to actually legitimately become friends and actually show interest in them as a human and not as a content creator. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. And he did not approach me in that way. And that really rubbed me the wrong way. But that wasn't even the final nail in the coffin for me. Those were red flags. And there were other red flags I can't think of right now, but those were red flags. But the final nail in the coffin for me, when Brandy joined Game Junction, it became very clear very quickly that he was taking advantage of her every single step of the way. It was so obvious to me. And I talked to Brandy about it. You know, later on down the road, she started to suspect it. So it's like, it's not like she learned it from me. She was suspecting it, but I talked to her about it. But like, and it was things like he would put her shorts on Instagram, her reels on Instagram, but he wouldn't tag her. Wouldn't give her credit. Yeah, wouldn't give her credit. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? If she's gonna be on your platform, you should be promoting her channel every step of the way.
But that was also a consistent theme with him, is that anything you did was for him. Your own stuff didn't matter. It was secondary, and if it was even tolerated, because you know the conversations that he had with her about, why are you doing stuff for your own channel? You should be doing more for Game Junction if you have time to do stuff for your channel.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was another convention that he was at. I won't name the convention, but there was another convention he was at, and Tommy was with him. And this was the first time I met Tommy. Tommy's awesome. Got to hang out with him a couple weekends ago. We filmed a game.
Millennial Collector.
Yeah, Millennial Collector, dude. We filmed a game room tour. So It's gonna be really awesome.
Nice guy.
Super nice guy.
His game room. You filmed his game room.
Yeah. It's gonna be. It'll be releasing in a few months, and we did a really good tour. And the way I do game room tours, I'm not in the video at all when I do game room tours. The focus is on the collector and their collection.
I noticed that when you're posting those videos to your channel on your YouTube channel. I was going through a couple of the game room tours that you did film. You're focusing on the person and their game room. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great support, man.
And that's the way I like to do it, man. Because the way I see it is when I do those videos, it's not about me. It's about them and it's about their collection. I want the focus to be on them. But anyways, got to hang out. It was a great time. But the convention last year, Brandon was at this convention. Tommy was there. Brandy was there. And a couple of things, right? Tommy got stuck. Tommy was volunteering at the convention and taking tickets and stuff. And he got stuck at the ticket counter while Brandon was off doing his own thing, never got relief. So that kind of pissed me off a little bit. But then, and this is a small thing, but it's the small things that you notice, man, when it comes to this stuff. Brandy and Stephanie were there, right? And he bought some kind of big display. I think it was like Gears of War or something. I don't know, but it was some big display. Dude had a table at the convention he could have put his display at, but instead he had Stephanie carrying it around for him while he was off filming. And it's just little stuff like that, man. I'm like, dude, that's rude. That's uncourteous. And
why are you making the girl carry it?
Exactly. And it's just a lot of stuff like that, man, that I would notice and a lot of other people would notice. And like I said, it was very clear from the beginning that he was taking advantage of Brandy. He wasn't shouting her out or anything. And then I found out things about, Tommy paying for tons of stuff out of his own pocket and just nobody getting any mutual benefit or appreciation for helping him and working for the guy. 'Cause like, let me tell you how I do things. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just trying to illustrate. I'm trying to illustrate like the right way to do things. My good friend Chris, who was in the chat, Barnsong Electric, he helps me film a lot. He goes with me to cons. He helps me film, works his ass off, does such a good job. I pay for his lodging. I pay for most of his meals, tickets to the con. I'll pay for his tickets. Sometimes I'll buy him something that he might be interested at the con.
And that's you. That's a sign of appreciation.
Exactly.
Because he's helping you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's common courtesy.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, dude, if you help me move, I'm gonna buy a 12-pack of beer and a pizza,
maybe give you $100.
Yeah, and look, I understand if maybe you don't have the money to do things like that for people that are helping you, but there's other ways you can show your appreciation, even if you can't buy their meals or right. There's other ways you can show their appreciation. But I never saw that from him, man. Never saw that from him. It was all about
the easiest way. Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, usually for most people, that's all it takes. I mean, my friend Chris, he's such a great guy. That literally would be all it would take. If I say thank you, he'd be good with that. But I don't want to stop there. I want to really show my appreciation for how much he helps me. Like, and another example, Matt Furman from Retro Gaming Pandemic. A couple weekends ago at a toy show, he helped me film. I bought his meal, bought him something at the toy show that he was interested in. It's just like, that's the right way to do things, man. You gotta, if people are willing to help you and do work for you, you need to show your appreciation in some way. Yeah. But look here, I don't want to talk about this too long. I'll just end it with this. Brandon, if you're watching this, dude, look, I'm going to tell you the best thing you can do. And I know you're not going to do it, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Be a man, own up to your mistakes. We're all human. We all fuck up. We all make mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. I've done tons of things that I regret. Be a man, own up to it, sincerely apologize to the community. And there's a chance that you could redeem yourself. It's going to take a lot of work, but you could do it, man. It is possible. It is highly possible, but it's never going to happen if you don't have some self-reflection and own up to your mistakes. As much as he pisses me off with how he treats the people that he screwed over, I don't wish anything ill on the guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, right? Because it's not like he's not evil, but he's not a good person. Right. You know what I mean? Like that's I
know exactly what you mean.
It's not the behavior. That's not the behavior of a good person. And
you gotta wonder if he was at a con over the weekend, and you gotta wonder if the people he brought with him, because I know he brought at least 2 with him, is what it looked like.
Yeah.
You gotta wonder if he's doing the same thing to them that he's been doing to everybody else.
So this is where Bill's gonna actually gossip just a hair.
Okay. Tell us.
Okay, number one, Matt, you said Brandon, if you're watching. He's watching.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Sure.
I'm sure he is.
No, so we all have TikTok, and TikTok is the only platform that tells you when someone specifically goes to your profile to view it.
Right.
Guess what popped up as a pro? Yeah. I got a notification 2 days ago that Game Junction was viewing my profile. So I click on the notification and it's gone. I search Game Junction. They don't exist, which means he had me blocked, unblocked me, checked my profile, and then blocked me back in a span of a few minutes. So is he watching? Absolutely. Where I want to get into, I'm just going to say
Brandon. Take my advice, Brandon. If you're watching, just take my advice, dude.
He was at a con this weekend with people from that are working with the Game Junction. Not everybody that was working with the Game Junction a week ago is still working with the Game Junction.
I mean, that's what happens whenever you treat people like garbage. You can't treat people like that, man. It's just not. It's not the right way to treat people, and the community needs to be aware of it. And that's the only reason I'm talking about it. Is number one, because Brandy is my friend, and I care about Brandy and Tommy. Tommy's starting to become a good friend, and I don't want to see my friends treated like that. So of course I'm going to speak out, because they're my friends and they deserve my support, and they deserve my defense and everybody else's defense that is close to them. So. Yeah, I mean, as much as I like to hope that he'll listen to my advice, at the end of the day, I know he won't.
Right.
I would bet money on it.
Sounds like he's a little arrogant to even listen to it. He's probably watching the videos, and he's probably just angry watching them.
Yeah.
And just making himself mad, and that's why he's not. I don't think anybody's ever going to see an apology from him.
No.
I don't. If there was going to be an apology, he would have did it after the first video right away.
Exactly.
Or he would have contacted the person who was in the first video, and he would have contacted Bill, and it would have been a whole different conversation.
Oh, he did.
I know he did. I know.
First video.
I know he did, but it wasn't the way that he should have. He should have contacted you.
No,
it should have been more of like, shit, dude, I fucked up.
Yeah.
It was a string of angry messages. Basically telling me that everyone was lying. Specifically, I made everything up, just trying to make him look bad, and because I want to be a 1 million subscriber YouTuber, and then everybody was making everything up, and everybody's lying. And
we're all liars.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're all liars. Yeah,
and he's gonna release dirt on everybody.
If he's not gonna make an apology, fine.
Right.
Just don't do it anymore.
Right. Just
don't do it anymore. Don't do the same thing twice. That's it. A person who learns from their mistake will never do the same thing twice.
So Bill, I was just gonna say really quick, what you just described is somebody that is detached from reality.
Absolutely.
How old is this guy?
You know what?
Is he in his 20s?
Probably mid to late 20s, maybe. I don't know. Maybe 30s. I'm not sure.
I always think that there's a maturity level.
Early 30s.
There's a maturity level that you in your 20s that you don't really reach until you're like 27, 28.
Right.
The closer you get to 30, the little you get this maturity level in your head, and like the world, like you wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that never happened to him, or maybe he's just not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, dude, like situations like this, the best thing to do is to be honest about yourself and have some self-reflection and try to become a better person. This could be a huge opportunity. This could be a huge opportunity for him to make positive changes in his life. It could be, or it could go the other direction.
Right.
So,
with him, with the way that it sounds like right now, it just sounds like it's got to go the other direction, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I hope it doesn't, because that's not the goal of this, right?
Right. The goal is to make the community aware.
Yeah, and it all started last week when something came out, and it kept going with it. Again, I don't know the whole details of the thing, so but yeah.
So, anyways, that's all I've got to say about that.
He gumped it.
Okay. Fair enough. I feel like we've spoken enough about it for the night, maybe.
Yep.
You know, let's learn from our mistakes. Like they say where I'm from, I ain't never dropped the same baby twice.
Dude, let me tell you, that's honestly, man, that's the key to life is if you make a mistake, learn from your mistake. Learn from other people's mistakes too. You know what I mean? Like that's a really important thing in life. I mean, we're all going to make mistakes. The important thing is realizing you made a mistake, acknowledging it, owning up to it, and learning from it. And sometimes like, look, I've made mistakes that I didn't learn from. It happens. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say I learn from every single mistake I make, but I try my best to.
Yeah, sometimes I got to make the mistake, 5-6 times.
Right? Yeah.
Especially if she's hot.
There you go. Right, you gotta keep going back to that one.
Yep.
All right, let's move on, guys. So, Bill, you wanted to talk about. You had an idea for the show tonight. You wanted to talk about something in our. What was it? Something in our collection. Help me out here.
Something in our collection that we really love, that we really enjoy. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be rare, but it's just something that brings you joy. Something that you like. So, yeah, that was basically my idea.
Cool.
I feel like we don't see enough people just point out, do content where they're just like, I really love this thing, and that's why.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
makes sense. Did you fill in Retro Wolf on that before he came on the show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I sandbagged him with it just fucking now.
Surprise. So why don't we start with Retro? What do you got, man? What's one thing in your collection that you love, man?
Dude, I could have. There's so many things,
many things. It doesn't have to be just one, right? There's things.
No, I picked two things, right? But there's so many things in my collection that I love. But I picked two things. One that is very special to me for memories that I'll share, and then the other that's very special to me because it's one of my favorite games of all time. And these are both GameCube games. And I'll start with the one that's tied to a special memory. So, Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube. This is a game that is very, very special. I mean, now first off, let me say, and I don't know how much you guys know about this, but like the GameCube is one of my favorite consoles of all time. It is the console that turned me into a hardcore gamer, and I got a lot of great memories surrounded around the GameCube. And that's why I'm going for a complete collection for the second time because I'm a psycho. But anyways, that's a whole other thing. Soul Calibur 2, right? So not only is it my favorite fighting game of all time, by far, right? By far. That's not the reason why I picked it today. The reason why I picked it is because, unfortunately, in 2008, I lost my brother. He was 29, fixing to turn 30, lost him in a factory accident.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was definitely the hardest day of my life because he was my best friend. I was, I think I was 17 or 18 at the time.
Oh man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty rough. As a matter of fact, I've got a tattoo I'll show that's dedicated to him. It's a little faded because they used bad ink, but Jason Wolf, that was his name.
Okay.
But anyways, Soul Calibur 2. The reason why this game is very special to me is because I have a very vivid memory. I used to work at a Steak and Shake. Well, you guys probably don't have Steak and Shakes in New York. Steak and Shake is Steak and Shake is like
I know what it is though.
You know what it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I used to work at a Steak and Shake, and I would work like 10-hour shifts. And when I got off work, I would go to my brother's house, and we would play GameCube games, PlayStation 2 games. This game in particular, I remember one night, actually a couple of nights in a row, I went over to his house, and we literally stayed up till like fucking 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Playing this game. In particular, we were playing the mode. I'm trying to remember the name of the mode. And Marcello, if you're watching, you can help me out. It's the mode where you're like going around a map and there's like special fights you have to do. We were like swapping the controller out and playing that mode all night long. And dude, such a freaking blast, man. And Weapon Master. There you go. Marcello threw it in the chat. Weapon Master.
Nice.
Played that mode for hours and hours and hours. And I remember that night very vividly. And when you lose a family member, those memories are so freaking important, man. You got to keep the memories alive. You got to keep the good memories alive. Even the bad memories, man. You got to keep all the memories alive because,
Matt,
that's how you honor your family member.
You making me happy right now. You'll see why in a bit.
Okay. So yeah, man, that's when I picked that. And then the other one, I'll just really quickly, I'll run through this quick. Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door on the GameCube. This is one of my favorite games of all time. One of my favorite GameCube games of all time. One of my favorite RPGs. Like it's way up there on the list for me. So this game is very special to me. I probably played and beat it about at least five times. And you better bet your ass in May when it releases on the Switch, I'm playing it again.
Right.
So yeah, there you go, man. That's what I got.
All right, Bill, you want to go next, man?
Yeah, and I'm gonna blow your minds a little bit,
okay.
And Matt, I'm gonna ride your ass a little bit because
whoa,
ride that ass,
easy, killer.
There's a little similarity there.
Okay.
Now,
okay,
this is my item, okay, and I'm not gonna pull it closer to the camera because it's green and I have a green screen behind me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. I have a picture of it, and then I'm gonna tell you exactly what you're seeing.
Okay. I am intrigued. I can't tell what it is from here.
Neither can I. It looks like it's got horns.
Yeah, it looks like horns.
Is that the devil?
Is it Satan?
No.
Oh, Dragon Warrior.
Okay. So, let me start by saying my grandmother, Rosemary Chapetta, introduced me to every single thing that is awesome in this fucking world. Right?
Yeah.
My grandmother introduced me to video games. My grandmother introduced me to comic books. My grandmother introduced me to science fiction and horror movies. She introduced me to sci-fi and fantasy books. So much of what I do is influenced by my grandmother that it's ridiculous. I do a series on my YouTube channel that nobody watches, but it's my favorite thing that I do. It's called Forgotten Sci-Fi, where I talk about science fiction book, movies, and TV shows that don't get enough respect. So what you're looking at here is actually a Dragon Warrior legitimate NES cartridge. And it's a 3D sculpture cut out of the center and built onto the front of it. Now, there's a couple things that make this really fucking cool. Number one, I had this commission to be done because I love my grandmother so much, and she passed away a couple years ago. Dragon Warrior specifically, we used to call each other on the phone, and I like, hey, Momo, I found this over here. And she'd be like, oh, William, I found this over here. Go over there and find this. And so my grandmother and I helped each other through the game. It was a very bonding game for us. We lived about an hour and a half away from each other. But we would call each other, and, we helped each other through the game. So I contacted an artist that I know to make this for me. Now, first of all, it was nowhere near fucking cheap because the artist I had commissioned this is actually an artist known, his name is Steve Casino. And if you don't know who Steve Casino is, you definitely know who Steve Casino is because all of the Goosebump toys from when you was a kid, he designed all of them. Okay?
Dude.
He designed so many toys. That's what he does for a living. He's a toy designer. He's an artist on the side. He's really popular for like his Rat Rod spam cans, and he does a lot of peanut art. So I contacted Steve. We were kind of friends on Instagram, and Steve actually made that for me, and it took months and months, and it hangs in my dining room because it's like my most proud possession. I'll pull it closer to the camera, but some of it's going to disappear because, like I said, I have a green screen behind me and the face is green. So you're not really going to be able to see.
It perfectly cuts out the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see that it's an actual NES cartridge.
That's amazing.
That's
now,
really
is that your like original copy of the game?
It is not. I have no original copies of anything. I'm from New Orleans, and Katrina took everything but the clothes I was wearing.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks.
It is what it is. It taught me not to be overly attached to
that makes
physical
sense.
things.
Yep.
But yeah, that's mine. But that's why when you were talking about your brother passed and that game had special meaning to you because of your brother, I knew exactly where you were in your headspace. Because for me, it's my grandmother. Because my grandmother, I would not be Bill Tendo if it wasn't for Rosemary. You know.
Can I do something real quick? I want to say cheers to your grandmother. Cheers to my brother.
Cheers.
Hey, got it.
Well, I guess I'm up next, huh? I don't have anything that sentimental.
I'm sorry if I got overhyped.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Damn, I'm not going to live up to that, to either one of those at all, man. So I have some things in my possession. I'm a huge Nintendo 64 fan. Nice. The first thing I'm going to show. So back in 2015, 2016, I randomly started collecting the entire Nintendo 64 collection, just randomly. Like I was picking up games. I was getting them randomly cheap off of eBay, and I had so many of them. I think I had 60 of the games, the carts at the time. I'm like, you know what? I might as well start going for the set. And over the next couple of years, I was going for the set. I made it up.
Radical Reggie. Sorry to interrupt you, Joel. What's up, Reggie?
It's fine. I made it up to, in 2019, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic, I made it up to 215 carts.
Nice.
And I had 4 of the 5 bangers, right? I had Stunt Racer. I had, what do you call it? I had Stunt Racer. I had bowling, the bowling one, the 64 Pro Bowling. Super Bowling 64, that's it. I had Bomberman: The Second Attack, and then I can't think of the other fourth one that I had. The only one I didn't have, though, was Worms, right? So I ended up selling my entire collection that April 2020. I sold my entire Nintendo 64 collection. I started selling off all my game collection because I started building my arcades, and I started doing the business from there. And in this room that I was in, this is the room that I had all my games in, and I cleared it all out so that I can start building arcades in this room. Fast forward a few years, we're back into this room, and I wanted to get back into game collecting. So like late 21, early 22, I started game collecting again. I started going for kiosks. I started going for some Nintendo 64 stuff. I ended up with a Nintendo 64 kiosk, and I started collecting the not for resale games. While I was collecting those not for resale games, one of the guys I follow on Instagram, Paper Hero Gaming, he had a Worms CIB raffle. And I'm like, so I jumped on it. I bought 2 spots. They were $10 each. So for $20, I jumped in the raffle and I got it.
Dude, that's crazy, man. And that's the expensive one, right?
This is the expensive one. It's completely CIB. Yeah. The only thing it's missing is that card that goes inside it. Otherwise, everything else is inside it. The registration card, everything else is inside it. The box, I would say the box in general is probably I would rate it like a 7. So it's got some creases to it. It's definitely it's been through some things in its life. I bought this acrylic case for it after I got it. When I got it in the mail from him, I did not open the box until this acrylic case came in, shoved it in the acrylic case and sealed it up.
Nice.
So this is probably one of my coolest ones that I got, and probably one of my favorite things in my collection right now, because this was the only banger that I never got out of those 5 heavy hitters, right?
Dude, the fact that you got that for $20 in a raffle is insane, man.
Right.
That's insane.
I got this next one I'm going to show too. I also got this one at a really good price, and I got it at a good price last year too, also off of Instagram. Unfortunately, I don't remember who I got it from off of Instagram, but I was scrolling through stories, and it popped up. Somebody had it popped up in their story that they were selling it. They were selling it for like $125. I couldn't believe what this was for that price. I didn't even believe that it was real. I thought it might have been a copy or something. I bought it right away once I seen it. And when I got it in the mail and I opened it up and I took a look at it, it was 100% authentic. And it's not something that I ever played. It's Silent Hill 2, sealed.
Damn, that's a pricey one, dude.
Woo. Yeah, completely sealed with the thing on it, the spine on it. Again, I threw that in here also. I've never played this game, so I got no memory of playing
like
this.
$150 or so.
This thing goes for $500.
Yeah, because it's sealed.
Because it's sealed and it's the greatest hits version. For some reason, the greatest hits version is more expensive than the black label.
Less of those. Sometimes they make less of the greatest hits version. Here's a great example of that. Not to take things off track. And sorry, I've been drinking a milkshake my stepson made me. But sometimes they make a greatest hits version that shouldn't actually exist. For example, I sold one 2 years ago. I had a CIB greatest hits version. I think it was collector's edition or whatever it was. It had the yellow bar at the top, I believe, of Legend of Zelda 4 Swords for Game Boy Advance.
Nice.
The thing is, it was the absolute worst selling Zelda game ever.
Mm-hmm.
It did not sell enough copy to get a greatest hits version.
Mm-hmm.
However, Nintendo, in anticipation, had the boxes printed.
Wow.
So what they did to get rid of the rest of the cartridges that they overprinted on the original run is they put them in the greatest hit boxes. So the only difference was the band on the top of the box, but the greatest hits version, the cartridge is exactly the same for 4 Swords on Game Boy Advance, but it technically never qualified for a greatest hits version.
You know what's a shame about that, dude, is that game is so much fun, dude. If you got a full group of people, it is a blast. I think the biggest problem with that game is, number one, it wasn't like a traditional Zelda game, and number two, the barrier to entry was pretty high. To get the complete experience, you got to have 4 friends. You got to have 4 Game Boy Advances. You got to have the link cables. It's right. And, that's not everybody could do that. Right. And that's why the 4 Swords on the GameCube was a similar situation, which they probably could have figured out how to make that game playable with 4 controllers instead of having to use the Game Boy Advance. They probably could have figured it out.
Right.
Of course, Nintendo could have figured it out. Of course they could have. They wanted to make it hard for us.
Yeah, they want people to buy those Game Boy Advances, which don't get me wrong,
buy the extra
great
stuff.
handheld. But yeah, dude, that's it. I did not know that though about the greatest hits. That's interesting. Or player's choice, I'm assuming is probably what it was.
The Game Boy Advance, I don't understand how anybody ever played on that screen. It is so fucking dim.
Yeah,
it's so fucking dim.
So
the SP is where I
right. I got an SP, and the SP is great.
The SP screen, however, the GBA was a much more comfortable form factor for playing games with the landscape screen.
Right.
The Game Boy, the SP, I didn't really care for the shape of it. I didn't find it very comfortable. So, like, the greatest thing in the world to me was just a few years ago when we could get the backlit IPS screens for the original GBA.
I've done a few of those mods. I will say, though.
Yeah. I got one right here.
Nice. One of my favorite things about the Game Boy Advance SP was just opening and closing it, dude. Yeah. There's just something so satisfying about it, man. Just the snap.
Yeah.
It's like flipping open a Razor phone in 2007.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I miss flip phone. Dude, for a while, I bought the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. I don't have one now, but I did have the Z Flip, the foldable smartphone. The camera wasn't that great, so I got rid of it because I was using my phone to film videos at the time. But dude, it was pretty nice to have a flip phone again and have that snap of shutting it when you're done using it. Yeah, brought back. It was nostalgic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Oh, what up, Rad Bash?
Red Bash, what's up, man?
Look, me and Rad Bash are gonna go do karate in the garage because we found out we both love the same game that nobody ever talks about. I've made multiple videos on it. It's
about Dark Cloud again.
Dark Cloud for PS2.
Yeah, talking about Dark Cloud again. You talk about this game every fucking show.
Dude,
every goddamn show you talk about this fucking game.
I've always wanted to play it.
Fucking game.
I've never played it. I've always wanted to.
When I start doing the charity stream tomorrow, that's the game I'm playing from the very beginning.
Nice.
Because
you gonna straight up just kill it, just play the whole thing live?
Not the whole thing. Actually, people might get bored with me if I don't talk enough because I have a tendency to overgrind in that game. So
yeah, you got to be talking, man. You got to be entertaining.
Yeah,
just tell dad jokes.
I'm not, huh?
Just tell some dad jokes. That's it.
Oh,
dude, I got a joke for. I got a joke.
Like, hey, there was an earthquake in New York the other day. It was a 4.8. I'm also a 4.8 in New York.
This guy right here. I've got one. This one's slightly offensive, but not too offensive. It's not like a cancelable joke, all right? But I love this joke so much. And if there's any gingers in the chat, please know that this joke is not an attack on gingers. What do you call a redhead with a yeast infection?
Oh, tell me.
Gingerbread.
Oh, that's good.
I love that joke, man. That's such a. It's not my joke. I can't take credit for it, but man, I love that joke. That's a funny joke. So I'm curious. I'm curious. What games coming out are you guys looking forward to?
I write like new gen games coming out.
Yeah. Anything.
I'm actually looking forward towards Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh yeah. That's the Ubisoft game, right?
Yeah, and Ubisoft is great, except they fucking failed at that last fucking pirate game. I'm really mad about that.
What was that? Skull and
Open Sea.
Skull and Bones,
or whatever.
Yeah. God, that was the fucking worst game ever. It was so after 4 hours, and I realized I couldn't do anything on land. I'm like, I'm not playing this. I'm like, this isn't what I was hoping for. I was hoping for Assassin's Creed shit. I'm looking forward towards Star Wars Outlaws. I really want Nintendo to release the Cruising series on the Switch.
Oh yeah, dude.
Then that's gonna happen someday. I'm really looking forward to that happening someday, even though it's never been announced. But yeah, I think Star Wars Outlaws is the one I'm looking forward to. Obviously, Grand Theft Auto 6, but that's not coming out until like 2025 at this point. Yeah. Everybody's looking forward towards Grand Theft Auto 6.
It's going to be a top seller, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, definitely will. I think that's really it. I don't really know what else is coming out right now in 2024 towards later on this year that's really been announced. I mean, I know I know that Paper Mario. I never played those games before. So I played a little bit of Paper Mario before, but that was for Nintendo 64, and I never really got into it. Luigi's I've never touched it except for the arcade game.
So here's what I'll say: Paper Mario 64, it's a good game, but Paper Mario 1000-Year Door is on another level.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, think of Paper Mario 64 as like a proof of concept, whereas 1000-Year Door is the masterpiece that was meant to be.
Right.
Because it was chewy. Jesus. Oh man.
Yeah, so that's basically all that I'm looking forward to. Bill doesn't really play too many current gen games at all.
So, what is that world? There is a game I'm looking forward to. I'm blanking on it right now. It keeps getting pushed back.
Actually, I'm looking forward towards Dune. There's a Dune.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it right now.
So
what console,
curious.
Bill?
Light No Fire.
Light No Fire?
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Me neither.
Okay, so it's made by Hello Games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so it's a giant open world game. It's been in development for over 5 years. Every time I see anything about it,
it looks badass.
It just straight up looks amazing, right?
Dude. Talk about a redemption story. Hello Games is the redemption story, is like the biggest redemption story in the last generation of gaming because, they put out No Man's Sky. It was broken. It was not what it was supposed to be. And I played it when it came out and I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't the game it was supposed to be. And then after all the backlash, they committed and they fixed the game. They made it the game it was supposed to be. And now it's an amazing game that people absolutely love. So they restored their reputation and they made the game that they should have put out from the beginning, but at least they committed and fixed it and restored their reputation in the community. So that was a huge redemption story for that developer.
But it also gives you a lot of faith in that company. Like this game's been in development for 5 years. So when it does launch, even if it's not perfect, they're going to fix it up. Make it a good game.
Dude, I have a feeling that they're not going to do what they did with No Man's Sky. I'm sure they learned from that.
But look, between No Man's Sky and what Project Red did with Cyberpunk, I don't think anybody's in a rush to get nailed like that for an unfinished game at release because both of those games became great after updates and after they fixed a bunch of stuff. But at launch, they were both absolute garbage.
Dude, I played Cyberpunk at launch, and after about 5 hours, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And then I played it. Yeah, dude, at launch, not because it was bad, because it was so buggy, dude. I couldn't play it.
Oh, see, I never experienced any bugs in that game.
What'd you play it on though?
Xbox.
I was on PS4, so it could be console dependent.
Could be.
But
I was on the Series S.
Okay, nice. And then a year later, when it was fixed, and yes, Marcello, Stellar Blade, dude. Bring on the boobies. I'm ready.
Bring on the boobies. So just to acknowledge the chat here real quick. So I was talking about the Cruisin' series, not Blast. I have Blast on the Switch. Fucking love Cruisin' Blast. It's amazing. So I also have the ROM for the arcade version, and that one is also fantastic. But I'm talking about the series. I'm talking about Cruisin' USA, Cruisin' World, and Cruisin' Exotica. 2 years ago when they released Blast, that was the talk is, are they going to release those 3 games on the Switch? And when are they going to do it? Right? I'm still sitting here waiting for that to happen. I play those games still.
I think it's inevitable, man. They'll release it on the online service. I would bet money on it.
I mean, that would be perfect. That's probably what they're working on, is that so you can race online with other people finally. Yes. That would be awesome.
Yes. Wait, did that message repeat? Or
No. He just
popped up with it again too.
Gotcha.
I don't know what Stellar Blade is.
Dude, so Stellar Blade is a badass looking action game, and it's been very controversial because the protagonist is a female that is, well, a very shapely and sexy female protagonist, and there have been people freaking the fuck out online because she is unrealistically sexy, and so you've got people online freaking out about it. Of course.
Oh, that game! I know what you're talking about.
Now I know. So this is something that I don't understand, and I don't want to sound like I have a heavy bias one way or the other. I'm just saying I don't understand. When you see characters like Kratos, no one ever says this guy is uncharacteristic. This is unrealistic to think you can look like this. So I don't see it the other way.
There's a double standard
in the game.
I don't know, man. Kratos is pretty diesel, and if you look at Roman Reigns, he can match the body of Kratos. Just the way that he's built.
Roman Reigns.
Listen, I will enjoy a fucking careless man that's diesel if you fucking don't like it. I don't care. I'll enjoy it. But also,
did you say
just to be controversial,
hairless man?
But yeah, he's a hairless man. He ain't got no hair on his body. He's fucking. His hair or his body's fucking balder than Conor McGregor in fucking Roadhouse. But also to be controversial, fuck the PS4 Kratos and fuck the PS5 Kratos. He is a pussy.
Oh, dude, I can't get behind you on that one.
PS2 Kratos will eat fucking PS4 Kratos all fucking day.
Yeah, I won't argue with you on that. You're right there.
This new Kratos lost me when I was playing Ragnarok, and he got to the point where he was fighting Thor, and then he stopped Thor from killing somebody, and he was just like, do better. I'm like, do better at what? Rip his fucking face off. What the fuck is this?
But you got to understand, man. It's character development. They're trying. He lost his wife. He has a son. These things kind of softened him up a little bit, right? Yeah. So I mean, it's like
he's pussy Kratos. That's what he is.
That's one way to look at it. That's one way.
Kratos had a family, and he lost that family, and then he went fucking vengeful. And he should have fucking just kept ripping people's faces off. Teach fucking Atreyu how to rip somebody's face off.
Yeah. Brandy just said Thomas is here. So what's up, Thomas?
What's up, Thomas?
Tommy Tomasino. What games do we love that people hate? I have the opposite. I have a generally beloved game that I think is one of the worst games ever made.
Okay.
And for Shadow of the Colossus, absolute dumpster fire of a fucking game.
I've never played it, so I don't have a dog in this fight.
Okay, you don't have to play it. Let me.
Dude, I think I'll like it. Everything I've seen, it looks like my kind of game.
There are 13 Colossi, 13 that you hunt down.
Is Colossi a real word, though? Is that a real word?
Yes, it is. Colossi? It is the model of Colossus. Okay. So you hunt down 13 Colossi in a completely barren world with nothing in it. It has janky controls. The horse is atrocious. It's, if you can't sell it to me as art, as a video game, as an art form, just because it's beautiful, when there's no actual gameplay. None of the controls work right. They're janky as fuck. And each Colossus you kill exactly the same way. You hit them, you climb up on the hair, you climb all the way to the top, and you stab the glowing spot. That's it. You just played the whole fucking game.
So, Bill, is that the worst game you've ever played?
I hate it
number one?
Probably any other game.
Damn.
It's probably number one. It is the most wasted 5 hours of my life.
It's only a 5-hour game?
Yes. There's only 13 bosses. All bosses, nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
You just go from boss to boss to boss.
What do you think was the worst game you've ever played? This is a fun topic. And chat too. In the chat, drop in your game that you think is the worst game you guys ever played too.
Was it worst game or overrated game?
You can do both. You can do both.
Okay.
Yeah,
let me start with a couple of games that I think are overrated. And this is going to be controversial and an unpopular opinion, but I stand by it.
I hate Nirvana, so let's hear it.
I also put hours into both games, so it's not like I didn't play them. 2 games that I think are incredibly overrated: The Witcher 3 and Horizon Zero Dawn.
I agree with you on The Witcher 3. I downloaded it for PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. I paid full price for it, downloaded it for PlayStation 5. Never played a Witcher game in my life. The controls felt janky to me. Like the camera. I don't know if it was supposed to be better on the PlayStation. What did you play it on? Did you play it on PS4?
PS4, yeah, PS4.
Okay, so I don't know if the controls were supposed to be different on the PS4, but like the camera was all fucked up. It was all weird. It was very janky system. Like I played about an hour of it and I turned it off because I'm like, I can't play this.
Dude, I put 20 hours into it.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I gave it a fair shot and it just didn't do it for me. Horizon Zero Dawn, I put 5 hours into it. Damn. I did not like that game at all. Now as far as worst game, I mean, I don't typically play bad games. I usually know in most cases what I'm getting myself into, but back when I was doing in-studio content, I decided to review a game on the GameCube called Automodelista. And that is one of the worst games that I played on the GameCube by far.
Automodelista or Automobilista?
Automodelista. And it's a Capcom game. It's a racing game, cel-shaded graphics. The graphics are great. The presentation is great. What ruined it, the controls and the physics were fucking horrendous. It was like driving on ice the entire time. It was horrible. And it pissed me off. That game pissed me off. And I reviewed it. And let me tell you guys something funny. So I reviewed it, right? And I shit on the game, like I bashed it. I acknowledged the things that I thought were good about it, right? But I bashed it in the end. So I had a bunch of people come after me in the comments, right? And it turns out these people had a Automodelista Discord fan page. And I infiltrated this Discord channel, and there were like 12 of them. So there's only like 12 hardcore fans of this game on the Discord. Dude, they were coming at me in the comments, man. They were like, "You're an idiot."
Up on you.
Yeah, they were like, "You're an idiot. You just suck at the game. This game is great." Dude, it was funny. It made me laugh. People are
Vic threw in the chat, Red Dead Redemption 2 is overhyped. I got to agree with that. I'm playing it right now, but I took a huge break from playing it, and I'm actually find myself forcing myself to play the game because of all the back and forth, and there's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no fast travel, so it's literally back and forth on the horse like that. Yeah. The story's not holding me. Red Dead Redemption 1 was definitely 10 times fucking better than Red Dead Redemption 2. So I don't know what the hype is about this game. It's okay, but it's just okay.
Yeah, so I'll give you my perspective. I can definitely appreciate and respect your perspective because I think the problem with Red Dead Redemption 2, and I loved it, but I think the problem with that game is it's a game that you have to let yourself be immersed in. They designed that game to be a very immersive, almost realistic experience.
Right.
And that's not for everybody, right? And I get that. That's not for everybody. I enjoy games like that if they're executed properly. But I get, that's not for everybody. So I could see why that game would turn you off, especially if the story wasn't pulling you in.
Right. I'm still gonna finish it, but it's like it's not one of those games where I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go back and play it. I gotta go back and play it like I need to play it.
It's a long game.
Oh yeah, it's a super long game. But even the campaign's like 80 hours,
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5, I think, is one of the best games I have ever played. I could not put that game down when it came out for PS4. I played it for like 7 months straight and killed that campaign. I took down every side quest on that shit. So I was hoping when I started Red Dead Redemption 2 that it would be a similar experience for me, and that it's the whole fast travel thing. It's the whole back and forth on the horse. It's very monotonous. Very monotonous.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
What I do like about the game is I could just go up to anybody and just blow their brains out.
Dude,
love that.
you can do some wild things to people in that game, man. Like tie them to your horse and drag them around and shit. It's pretty crazy.
I've lassoed a person, dragged them down my horse to one of those hot springs, and I threw him in a hot spring. I know it's morbid, but I wanted to see what was going to happen.
Yep, right? Exactly.
That's it. I think one of the worst games I ever played that was also overhyped was the Order 1886.
I haven't played that one. I have it, but I haven't played it.
I think that game was super overhyped. At least in my brain, it was overhyped. It's a fantastically fucking gorgeous game. It is so boring. Like
it's like nothing... interactive movie. Game. It's like an interactive movie, though, basically, right?
No, it wasn't even. That's what I thought it was going to be too. I thought it was going to be similar to like an FMV. I thought it was going to be like this whole experience on the PS4. It was supposed to be a launch game for the PS4, and it was. Yeah, I think it was overhyped and terrible. I think it was. And the other game I think was overhyped and just straight terrible. Right? It was a hype game, but I just think it was straight terrible. Watch Dogs.
I never played that one.
Oh, dude, the first one. I never played the other ones because the first one was so bad. And where it lost me was it's a Grand Theft Auto style game, but you're a hacker, right? That's basically the basis of the game. You got to hack everything and you got to use the environment and this and that. That was an entertaining feature of the game. But there were portions of that game where you're driving in a vehicle chasing people and they're shooting at you, but you can't shoot them. Right. So you have to basically just ram their car or somehow use the environment to stop their car from fucking shooting you. And that's where I lost it. I'm like, they can shoot me. And when I get out of a fucking game, I'm pretty sure I had a gun in the game too when you get out. But I can't fucking shoot them while I'm driving. I'm like, this is fucking, that lost me right there. Yeah. I tried to push myself through it and I just couldn't do it.
So let me say, I love what we're talking about right now because even though, like, I don't agree with you on Red Dead Redemption 2, we're able to talk about this and be respectful, unlike other people online, dude, that will freak the fuck out.
Right.
They will freak out.
It's opinions. It's discussion.
Exactly.
It's debate.
Exactly.
You might love something I don't like and vice versa. Right. By the way, Richard, I would take my shirt off, but then you'd probably be upset because you'd find out I have your mom tattooed on my chest.
Dude, what if Richard is Brandon on an alt account trying to troll?
Listen, I will turn on monetization and you can super chat us to take up.
Dude, he was serious. Dude, that's amazing. Dude.
That was I did not expect that at all.
Okay, so one more time. Yes, I actually have your mom tattooed on my chest. It was a first date gift from my wife. Like, we knew we were made for each other.
Careful, he's showing his titty.
No titty, just tattoo.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, people online, dude. People online need to learn how to respect other people's opinions. If somebody hates a game, like, look, dude, like if somebody
YouTube is the worst for that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. If I'm on YouTube, right, and I'm watching a video and somebody's shitting on a game that I absolutely love, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna dislike the video. I'm not gonna get in the comments. I'm just gonna stop watching and go watch something else.
Right. Hey, GameCube Galaxy. Game that got trashed, but I enjoyed more than expected. And I might get heat for this one. Balan Wonderworld. I actually kind of enjoyed that game. It was a goofy little platformer that I enjoyed. 100% of that game. I enjoyed.
Damn, you 100%ed it?
Yes, because so one of my friends called me and he was super excited about it. And he said, Bill, expect to have it delivered on launch day. I ordered it from Amazon for you. And, if sometimes if somebody puts out that much effort for me, because I'm not a person that accepts gifts, I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. But if you put out an effort like that for me because you really think it's something I like, because I like platformers, then I'm going to give it an earnest try.
Yeah. Nice.
And so I did. And I actually kind of enjoyed it. I didn't think it was as horrible as everybody said.
Nice. That's good to hear. I'll throw mine out. So a game that got absolutely trashed that I loved was Fallout 76. And I'm talking, I played it when it came out and when it was broken and buggy and crashing all the time. So I bought Fallout 76 because I'm a huge Fallout fan, right? I was very hyped about that game, a multiplayer Fallout game. I was like, what? So I bought it. Me and Devin, my nephew who edits for the channel, dude, we played that game for like 25 hours almost nonstop. We had a fucking blast, even with the bugs, even with it crashing. We could not stop playing it, dude. It was so much fun, man. And now they fixed it. Now they've turned it into a really good game now, so they redeemed themselves, which is good. But
when that game came out, I was running a job site. I was still in construction. I was a project manager, and the carpenters were from a different state. And one of them asked me, he's like, Bill, I bought Fallout 76. Can you bring my PlayStation to your house, hook it to the internet, and download it for me? He was super excited. So I did that. I brought it home overnight. I downloaded it for him, installed it. And then when he came into work the day after that, I had returned it the next day. He was so disappointed. And I'm like, what's wrong, dude? You didn't enjoy it? He goes, there is fucking nothing. I played this game all night, and it is a giant world, and there is nothing in it.
Yeah, in the beginning,
it was how it launched.
What was the bad thing about Fallout 76? Because Fallout wasn't 76 the sequel to Fallout 4?
Well, not really. It was their attempt at making a multiplayer, like a multiplayer online Fallout game. But it just, they released it in a broken state. It was super buggy. It lacked content. They did fix it because they got a lot of backlash, a shitload of backlash. So they did eventually fix it. Now it's packed with content, absolutely packed to the brim with content, and it's a much better game, a much more stable game. But yeah, in the beginning it was pretty rough. Like if you're trying to play it by yourself in the beginning, you're not going to have fun. But playing it with somebody online, I had a blast.
Nice. I played Fallout 4, which actually kind of it brought a memory back for me as we were just talking about this, been bringing up Fallout. I played Fallout 4. My wife got it for me when we were dating the first year. She got it for me as a Hanukkah gift. But she got me 2 games that year. She got me Fallout 4 and she got me Battlefront for PS4. There's another fucking overhyped game that sucked ass.
Never played it.
Oh, dude, I played it on, original Xbox, the original versions of it, and I loved those versions of it. So I was super pumped for Battlefront, and Battlefront was super hyped on the PS4. And when it was trash. So I played Fallout, and Fallout 4 was amazing. It's the only Fallout game I ever played, and that was another game I jammed on for like 6 or 7 months. I'm a campaign guy. That campaign was just a lot of fun.
So good, dude. Loved it.
The first time, so I'm playing that game, and like I said, I never played a Fallout game before in my life, right? I'm playing that game, and I'm in the suit, and I'm walking towards this area where I got to go do something for the mission. And as I'm walking down the road, and I'm just straight up, like right in the middle of a road, just walking, I hear, and then all of a sudden, I blew up with a nuke.
Yes.
And I was like,
yeah, dude.
What was that? What the fuck was that? I'm like, I need this goddamn gun. Yeah. It took me like an hour to kill the bad guys in that area and get the fucking nuke gun. And when I got the nuke launcher, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I was hooked on the game right at that point. And that was probably about 4 or 5 hours into that game where I found that gun. That was, I played the shit out of that game. I only campaigned it. I didn't really open up the entire world. I just campaigned it. And I got the good suits too. I remember, dude, I had such a fun blast playing that game. A lot of walking in that game.
Oh yeah, dude, I would encourage you to go play Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. They're also fantastic. They're not as smooth gameplay wise as Fallout 4 because they improve the shooting mechanics, but they're still a lot of fun. And then another game from the same developer that developed Fallout New Vegas, called The Outer Worlds. That is another game. If you like Fallout 4, you would really dig The Outer Worlds. It's a very similar experience.
I've looked at that a few times, but I haven't really looked. I looked at it a few times, but I never bought it or anything like that. So I'm definitely interested in The Outer Worlds.
Yeah,
and that's something that I would definitely be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I tried playing Starfield, and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, Starfield, I played it and beat it. It takes a while to get going. It is very slow in the beginning, for sure.
Yeah, I felt that as I was playing it, that it was going to be a slow game, and I'm like, I just wasn't in the mood for a slow game at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Bill, are we doing giveaways tonight?
Don't we do giveaways every night, Joel?
We do, but I got a giveaway. You got a giveaway, so I'm just making sure we're doing giveaways tonight. Do you want to talk about the giveaway that we're doing too?
I don't even remember what giveaway you doing.
So, all right. So here's what we're doing, right? So we got a goal here. I'm doing a Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that giveaway,
right? So
what we want to do is the nightly.
We're gonna do the nightly giveaway too in a minute, but let's talk about what we're doing for. We're trying to do a giveaway on April 24th, right? And what we want to give away is this brand new sealed Tears of the Kingdom OLED Switch, brand new sealed, right?
Nice.
So right here on GameOnia.
But we're right here on GameOnia. We want to give it away on April 24th, but there's a catch, right? One of the catches we already reached the goal of. The first goal was to get Bill Tendo's YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers, right? We're there. We're there. Okay.
We're there.
The other goal is I just opened up a brand new Facebook business page. I had an old Facebook business page that I opened up back in 2020. Had it for a few years, finally got over 2,000 followers on it. And in August of 23, my Facebook got hacked. When I finally got back into my Facebook after about a week of not being able to log into it, my business page was removed from my personal account. Facebook officially confirmed that they cannot get it back to my account. So I had to open up a whole new Facebook page for my business, and I'm trying to rebuild that page. So my old one had 2,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get my new one built up, and I want to get my new one to 500 subscribers or 500 followers at least. So in order for us to give away this Nintendo Switch, we got to get my business page to 500 subs or 500 followers. So go to Facebook, type in Retro Lizards Custom Arcades. Right now we're at about 252 followers as of today is what I looked at. So we're halfway there in just under a week of posting this too. So go to Retro Lizards Custom Arcades on Facebook, like and follow it, and look for the one that has about 252 subs or 252 subscribers to it. I keep saying subs because we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube.
262.
We're at 262 right now. Okay, great. So
it's this one right here.
That's the one. That's it. So, and you can see that I have a link. If you go back to that, Bill, let me pull that back up. Right here under featured, I have a link to the old business page so that you guys can see that too, because I don't want to lose the old business page. The old business page, like I said, I worked on for so long. I got reviews on that page. I have over 500 photographs on that page from the work that I've done. It's not something I want to lose, and I don't want Facebook to remove it from their program either. So we want to get there now. So we got to do 500 followers now. If by some reason, for shits and giggles, we can get it to 1,000 before April 24th, or on April 24th we get it to 1,000, I'm going to include this brand new seal collector's edition of Tears of the Kingdom 2.
That's awesome.
In the acrylic case. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're giving away. That's what we're trying to hype up, man. So we got to get those followers up there, and we want to give this thing away. We're halfway there. So for tonight's giveaway, though, Bill, what do you got to give away tonight?
Dude, don't even put me on the spot right now.
Spot, man. What do you got to give away?
No, you said you had something this week. I mean, I could grab
do have something. You don't have anything? I got something.
I got shit all around me, bro. How about this?
Hang on.
No. I got it. Oh, so he's going to dip out. Anyway, so look, this is what I'm going to give away. I personally have a very deep love and affection for Japanese games. Number one, Japanese games their art directors were so far beyond ours. The box art's always better.
Yeah.
And I also love when I get Japanese games that were not released in the United States. So this is actually a Japanese exclusive Sega Saturn game. I'm going to give this away tonight. So perfect. It is Eve Burst Error. Now, let's be clear, and I'm going to show you guys the back of this bad boy, and I'm going to make myself bigger than you guys, if you don't mind, so the people can see this. Yeah, we actually have girls in thongs and bra panties and stuff like that. I don't. It is Eve Burst Error for Saturn. And so I'm gonna give this away for free tonight. So if you put Joel, let's come up with a cool hashtag.
Call it Burst.
Burst hashtag Burst in the chat right now, and you will be entered into a free drawing right now for Eve Burst Error. Fantastic weirdo Japanese games.
Hashtag Burst. Hashtag Burst. No, that's the first giveaway, so that's Bill.
James, not first. Burst.
Burst. B-U-R-S-T.
Oh, look, we just had an entry from Victor Suazo. Victor, I have not shipped out your win from last week yet. Just so you know. If you win tonight, you'll get 2 in one package. I've had a busy week with the whole Game Junction thing and the fundraisers that I've been running to help our community member whose family is having problems. Again, let me shout out my charity stream starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow right here on my YouTube channel. Please check it out. I'm raising money for a community member whose 20-year-old son has cancer, and it's fatal. He's going to pass. So basically, and every penny we can raise for this family is another minute that the mom and dad do not have to spend at work and can actually spend with him for his last couple months. So that's where my head's at.
Make sure you guys watch that tomorrow on his Facebook page. Facebook page, N64 Players and Collectors.
Did I just bring the tone down? I'm sorry if I brought the vibe down. But seriously, like I've been so hyper fixated all week on it, Joel. You know this.
I know, and it's going to be a fun tomorrow too.
I forgot to message Joel back about things we were supposed to be talking about.
Bill, you should put it live on YouTube. And you're not monetized yet. You're not monetized yet. No, I was going to say you should monetize and super chat so that you can gather super chats for it.
I can't. I don't have the watch hours for super chats.
Oh, really? You're not there yet? We got to get you
there.
I
have enough. I have enough subscribers, but not enough watch hours.
We'll get you there. These live shows will definitely help get you there.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We keep doing these lives every week like that. You'll definitely be getting there too. So hashtag Burst to win that Burst to win that. What is it called?
Eve Burst Error.
Eve Burst. There you go. Eve Burst for the Sega Saturn. That's a Japan game too, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. We'll let that go up for one more minute at 10:29 p.m. East Coast time. We are going to hit the draw on that. And don't forget, if you win that one, you can also win the prize that I'm going to give away too, which we're going to give away a used copy of Super Mario U Brothers Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. And also, we're going to give away a Power A Super Mario Brothers controller too.
Nice. Joel, has anybody ever told you got that radio voice, man?
Yes,
he does.
I have. I actually did a radio commercial for my business locally, and the guy that was recording, I went in and I recorded my commercial because I wanted to do it. I wanted my voice to be on the radio, not one of the people from the radio to do it. Mm-hmm. And they told me that I can come back anytime. They're like, "You got a great voice for radio, man, and a great voice for your commercial." So yeah. All right, let's run this.
Let's pick us a winner. How many people entered, Joel?
I think there was 15. Billy Wright. Billy won it. That's my boy, Billy. Billy got it. Congrats, Billy. That's awesome, man. Totally awesome.
Let me write.
I'll get you his information, man.
Yep.
Congrats to Billy.
Absolutely. And then for the Mario bundle, we're going to do hashtag Mario. Hashtag Mario, and you win yourself Super Mario Brothers Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. And then you win the brand new Power A Mario controller too.
Billy Burst.
And we give away for people that are fresh to the show tonight that are watching. We do a giveaway.
Every week.
Yeah.
We got a random giveaways every week. Last week we gave away one of my new Pi builds, which I call the Ghost. I don't have one sitting here. Joel and I have a console, an emulation console called the Nintendo X Retro Lizard. I actually have one XL sitting right here. I've given one of these away before. Sometimes we feel like giving away games. Sometimes we'll give away whole consoles.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sealed games, regular games, open games, things like that.
Yeah. We like giving shit away. Like I tell people, like Joel and I both get our incomes from the gaming community. So you guys are good enough to support us. How can we not give stuff back? Why would we not give free stuff away when we can?
I love helping sponsoring other channels too and helping people out.
Yep.
I sponsor this other channel called Rascals Basement Arcades. Give that guy a follow. They do a podcast every Tuesday night at 9:00, and it's all about gaming and current gaming. They do community shows. They bring people on from the community. We do community gaming shows where you're playing a game live with them during the YouTube broadcast. So give that guy a like and a subscribe so that he can get his subs up too. But I have this thing called a portable retro gun box. It is a portable light gun arcade box. That you can plug in 2 Sinding light guns to, and it's literally plug and play. It's all set up with controls. It's got a mini PC on the inside of it, and it's got 127 light gun games inside it. All retro stuff. We're talking arcade games, your T2, your Area 51, your Jurassic Parks, your Revolution X, your Police Trainers, your Time Crisis 2, House of the Dead 1 and 2. It's all the classic stuff that you can think of that's on there. I do make bigger light gun games and bigger light gun actual arcades with 226 light gun only games inside it, but this is just the retro and the portable version. It works great with these things called the Sinden light guns that don't use any sensors. They use a white border around the screen. You can take it to your mom's house and play it at your mom's house on Thanksgiving.
Works on an HD TV?
Works on a HD, works on a 4K TV, works on all that. It's only going to put out 1080p because it's just a mini PC inside it with no graphic card, but it'll still run perfectly fine. The inside the brain is a mini Dell Optiplex. It's an i5 7040, and it's like a 3.3 gigahertz processor inside it with 8 gigs of RAM. So yeah, you should check out my website and go to like my gallery, and you can see all the work that I've done. Even my Instagram. Go to my Instagram and check out my Instagram and all the work that I've done over the years that I've been posting on it too, man. So there's some crazy stuff that I've been doing.
Dude, are you a wizard?
I'm in a group called the Arcade Wizards, and we call ourselves wizards. Actually, that's kind of coincidence. You just brought that up. That's really funny. Billy Wright is, and the guy that just won the previous giveaway, he's in the Arcade Wizards, and he's a wizard too, man. So he's part of the arcade community. There's a lot of stuff in there, man. So yeah, and I'm actually currently right now, I got 2 builds coming up that I'm currently working on right now, and they're going to Facebook's offices down in Hudson Yards, New York City.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool, dude. Like the only thing I keep thinking in my head is that Zuckerberg is going to see my work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a chance he's going to show up there someday and he's going to see them. So, all right, we got 17 entries. 17 entries we're giving away. Brad D's in the chat. He's an Arcade Wizard too. We'll leave this up for 1 more minute. The giveaway right now is a Super Mario U Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch, along with a Power A wired Super Mario controller, brand new, sealed in box too.
What? You didn't say the controller at first.
I didn't. No,
you should probably. You didn't say it the first time. You should probably just send that one to me.
I'll Amazon you one, man. All right. This is another win. This was a raffle win for me, so I'm just going to give it back away. I have so many controllers. I love supporting the guys that do the raffles on Instagram. And, even if I don't care about the thing, I'll still throw in $10 just to help support them and keep them going, because when they do have something cool, I'm definitely going to want to jump on it. I got a friggin' PS5. I got a PS5 off of an Instagram raffle for $50.
Dang.
The Spider-Man version.
Joel, you've won a couple things off of my raffle wheels.
I did. I got a couple Nintendo 64 off of Bill's raffle wheels too. I got one of them over here. No, I don't. It's all the way on the other side of the room. But I got a Ice Blue Japan inbox Nintendo 64 from one of Bill's raffles for $20. I threw 2 entries in there, got it for $20. And then I also got the N64 carrying case with another Ice Blue Nintendo 64 inside it that was Japan. So now I got 2 Ice Blue Nintendo 64s. I should give one of those away. All right, we're gonna run this.
Don't give that case away, dude.
No, I'm not gonna give the case away. Let's see who's gonna get it.
Wait, why do we have 2 different Victors?
Because there's probably, I don't know, Brandon 8797596. You won, man. Congrats. Let me throw a banner up here.
Wait, Victor, do you have 3 accounts on there right now?
Are you sure that's just not the same Victor? That's not.
No, I'm fairly certain it's the same.
Yeah.
Same
VAS, yeah, VAS, Victor 8, yeah, it's this, yeah.
Oh, you fucker. Well, he didn't win anyway.
He says I have 19 accounts. At least he's honest. At least he's honest.
Hey, can you put this on all of them so I can get the view hours?
Yeah,
Come on, man. Help your boy out.
Brandon, write down my email. Shoot me an email with your information. I won't see it until tomorrow because I'm logged out of my emails right now for work. But shoot me that email, and I'll get this thing shipped out for you tomorrow afternoon, man. And then Billy, Bill, I'll get you Billy's information too because I know his information.
That congratulations, Brandon, comes in from Carl Riley, one of the admins in our Facebook group.
Nice.
Very nice. So, all right. I got nothing else to talk about. Bill, you got anything else to talk about?
No, I gotta go take a piss, bro.
You gotta pee. You know you can just pause your camera and go pee, right? Dude, I was live for so long yesterday and drinking on fucking camera and doing so many shots, dude. I fucking pissed.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna pause it right now. YouTube. All right, I'm gonna pause it right now.
He's doing it. Oh.
He didn't pause anything. Is Bill a shirt tucker?
Look, all right, before we go anywhere.
Is your shirt tucked into your fucking basketball shorts?
No, I'm wearing jeans, dude, and my shirt is always tucked in. Let me tell you something. You know what my grandfather taught me? No, I've done this my whole life. Don't even start with me. You sound like my wife right now. Don't call me a shirt tucker like it's an insult. My grandfather told me since I was a little bitty kid, genius, full-blooded Italian man, beautiful family. He had great advice, man. And let me tell you what it was. Number 1, always wear a belt and always tuck in your shirt because being neat and clean never goes out of style. And number 2, never put money in these hoes' hands because they lying about what they need it for.
That's not what I was expecting you to say for number 2, dude.
No, I wasn't expecting number 2 at all. But didn't your grandpa grow up in an era where he was wearing a button-down shirt every single day and had to tuck his shirt in?
I never saw my grandfather without a button-down shirt.
Right, you're not wearing a button-down shirt.
It doesn't matter. I tuck my shirt in. I'm so uncomfortable if I don't tuck a shirt in.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of Italians, I don't know if GameCube Galaxy is still in, but Marcello is he's about as Italian as it gets.
I mean, he's got that Italian name. It's fun to say, Marcello.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
Hey,
Francisco.
Half my closet is tracksuits.
Yeah, he's not kidding.
And the rest is inappropriate T-shirts.
It's like a Run DMC fucking wardrobe in Pill's closet.
Nice.
All right, guys, we're gonna end this. Thank you so much, Retro Wolf. Go follow him on Instagram. Go follow him on YouTube if you don't already follow him. Hit him up. check out his stuff. Check out, especially on Instagram. He's got lots of stuff for sale on there, lots of cool posts. Check out his YouTube channel. Lots of great videos on there too. Fuck Bill Tendo's channel because we already got him over 1,000. Go hit the 500 followers on my Facebook channel. Thank you guys for watching every single week. We will see you guys next week. Have a good one.